Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Super Mater Brothers. I certainly am not a Mater brother, but I am a true representation of the Mater brother in all of us. I'm Jaemeel Robinson, also brought here with Jeff, the main man Mater, Jeff from the Jeffries Tubes. Jeff, how you doing?
Good, Jaemeel. I'm a happy man tonight because nobody got their way except one person tonight, and that's always what I enjoy watching on Big Brother.
Oh, it's great. We talked about this
Hmm.
previously
Yeah.
where we were like, well, I was like, I for the at the very least, what I like about this season is nobody's getting their way, and everyone's just it's just disappointment. You see it in people's faces. It's great. The Cameron won. It's so great.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I don't even like Cameron all that much, but you know what's great is you can tell he's extremely smart, and so it's kind of amazing to watch him play the game. Also, with the news about his doppelganger out in the real world today, uh,
What is that?
his doppelganger Danny Masterson getting
Oh,
sentenced today.
30 years.
30 years to life. I mean, you could do worse than an HOH today, Cameron.
Yeah, yeah.
Congrats.
So everyone, there's no spoilers. The show already just aired. If you didn't see the show, pause us, watch the show, come back, and join us in our enjoyment of this train wreck of a season where strategy is just a suggestion, plans, concept that is vapor that just disappears, right, with the breeze. Best laid plans dashed on the ground. Right, it's great. I love it. So this is we're recapping the eviction episode of week was it 5, week 5, and we already got people who are joining us in the chat. Hello, Rachel Wright. Hello, hello. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Um, folks, if you're watching along, don't hesitate to type in the comments and we'll respond questions or anything like that because there's no Dave Mater here, so that means we're going to play it very loose,
Yeah, we can do
right?
whatever we want.
Whatever we want, right? I'm not going to play any Frankie Grande clips, so enjoy that, folks. My gift to you, or gift to me.
No intro packs. All you got are the sweet, seductive voices of Jaemeel and Jeff tonight, and that's all
Yes,
you need.
yes. Although we're in a little bit of a timer because if we stay too long, Sir Dave might pop out the shadows and wanna put some clips and some pictures on, and this could be a very lengthy affair tonight. We're gonna keep it short and sweet. So we open up this episode with a recap, a lengthy recap of all the stuff that happened. It seemed way too long. And with the amount of strategy that's been happening in this show, a little unnecessary, honestly. Right? I think it can be recapped to Suri, Izzy, and Felicia are kind of running things. They're in every alliance. There's two of them. Both of them seem fake, based upon how the wind is blowing. And Jared is Suri's son, and Jared's an idiot. And we now bring you to our show in progress. Basically, that should be the recap.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Cameron's kind of like the villain pariah of the house, which is amazing because he wins all the competitions.
Oh my gosh, they were worried about Heisem, and this dude is now winning every second competition, more or less. Right?
And
It's
like not like fluking it. Like he's winning the ones that are like the non-fluky ones to win.
yep,
Like
yep.
like that one tonight he earned. You can't take that away from him. I was kind of I always enjoy watching the live trivia ones because you get to watch like the different people's reactions. I was kind of like focused in on America for the until she got eliminated, and then I was like, oh, Cameron's still in it, and then I was like, okay, let's see. I hope Cameron wins now, just so everyone doesn't get their way, and that's exactly what ended up happening.
The three super fans, Cameron, Izzy, and Corey. Sorry, Cameron does not subscribe to the narrative of being a super fan. Um, but Izzy and Corey more or less has. And to see it come down to those three smart people and Cameron just outlast both them, it was it was delicious. And not even just that he won, it was the reaction to the win because he came around that corner and everyone, like weren't clapping, right? And then they started to clap and then they had too much time, so there was lengthy shots, right, with everyone, and you just see like everyone stop clapping, and Cameron is looking like very thoughtful in the moment, and everyone's just awkwardly just looking around. Sari was just right beside him, and she looked awkward as fuck. It was great.
Well, yeah, because it didn't go her way, and everything's been going her way. Even when things don't go Cerie's way, they go her way. But now she can't manipulate him. I don't think. You
I
know.
don't, I don't think so, because like, what is she good? What does she have over this man? She could have used the Red relationship as an in, right? Like to appease him. It's like, oh, we're all working together. Red's gone. That was a clear shot across the bow, and now he has power again. It's great.
It is
And
great. Because like what's he gonna do? Like he has so many options of people to put up. If I were him, I would put up like Sari and Izzy or Sari
oh,
and
he's not. Oh, okay. This is your issue, Jeff. You have too much faith
yes,
in what's going to happen. Jag and Jared are going to go up. It's going to be Jag and Jared.
yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Rachel has another comment. Let's read it out. Rachel Wright says she wants Sari to win, and I'm happy Cameron won. I definitely don't want to steamroll. I'm excited about this week. Me too.
You know what?
And
Maybe putting up Jag isn't so bad unless he could get Jag on his side, which he probably could. Uh, but putting up he would want to put up the physical threats, I would think, or the smart players. Like I mean, I would imagine putting up Izzy would make a lot of sense for Cameron. Like just because of that competition alone, you just saw like they're the three people like Corey, Izzy, and
do you think it's
Cameron.
going to be another mental cop?
No, I just mean like if I were Cameron and I was thinking down the road, or like if I had to win a veto, who would I not want to be playing against in those competitions? And I would not want to play against someone with a really good memory. But maybe Cameron's not threatened by that because he's clearly better. So maybe he would want to go after a more physical player. Maybe there's like a method to that madness.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Rachel has one more comment, but I want to answer what you just said.
Yeah.
Rachel's like, I love it. He said nobody's going to celebrate. That's great. I believe Cameron said that. We'll pull that clip. I know Dave will certainly want to put down the soundboard if he did actually say that. I think that you put Jag and Jared up because, especially when it comes to Jag, well, we as an outside observer kind of have all this information and knowledge. We know where the bodies are buried. If Jag is up there and he feels like third time's a charm, they're gonna get him home, he's gonna squeal. And the information he has is damning for Sari, right? Sari was in the competition. Sari is the one who talked to Matt, and they don't know where Jared's information came from, right? How did Jared know that Matt had the secret power, right? All the bodies lead to Sari, and the more eyes on Sari, I think it's time. We've seen enough people voted out. It's time that Sari gets some dirt on her, right?
Well, why doesn't why doesn't Jag preemptively go do that and just go talk to Cameron before he even puts in nominations and say, look, this is what happened with Jared and I believe Sari and Matt. They were the ones that screwed your whole HOH week up. And then maybe he ends up putting up Matt and Jared, and maybe that would be like two people to put up. That would make sense. And so, I could see that happening maybe over Jag, because like Jag could be an ally for Cameron, in some sort of a way. And same thing with like America, maybe Corey. They don't have to be best friends.
The alliance that he was thinking about creating in the first place.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
have to be like best friends because clearly, like nobody really is like friendly toward Cameron, but he's definitely like
Well,
used.
Except Red was.
But then even and that whole thing tonight, Jaemeel, about how like like even Julie was like, well, why didn't you just like go ask Cameron? Like he's your closest ally. You just blank believe what Jared said. Well, it seemed believable at the time, is what he said. I'm just like, are you for real? Like,
And I got too angry and I didn't want to blow up on him. It's like, bro, like, do you know what show you're on?
yeah. I mean, if it happened the other way around, it would not have worked. But it worked because Red was, I think, like kind of a gullible player.
Yeah.
I've never like he let Jared get the best of him. That's bad.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's like if a kid just keeps let's Lucy the football with with was it what can I think of his name? Peanuts main star.
Oh, Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Lucy with the football, right? Totally fooled, totally bamboozled Red. And like I wanted a little bit more fight from Red as well. He's kind of like, well, I'm gone. Hug everyone. Wow,
Yeah,
Julie, this was great. I had
yeah,
a good time.
yeah. Once in a lifetime, and it's just like, yeah, it was. But at the same time, like even like when Julie's calling out your strategic play, it's not good. Like it's just like that's not. She's not the person you. She's usually like, oh, like 'cause she doesn't really watch the show.
Her, what was the going line that I see online is her assistant just relayed the information, so she has her assistant's bias on it.
Yeah.
She's too busy planning out her outfits and
Yeah, and picking out her hymns for the end of the show. Yeah,
oh my god.
I think it's Big Jeff in her ear, just going, "Hey, what's going on? Why did you just ask Cam?" It's like it's Big Jeff. He's got nothing going on.
Oh, I well also I see a new strategy in terms of how they're handling shoutouts, which is
Hmm.
I think they're just turning off the secondary mics. They only have the mic directly in front of the screen. So the moment that they start walking away, it's severely muted in terms of shoutouts, and I appreciate that.
Me too,
Right?
because I get you have a mother and a father and a brother and a sister and a dog. Don't care.
Don't care. It's not part. I wonder, are we gonna start seeing shoutouts in Survivor now? It's like, hey, I know you're all gonna watch this in 3 months, but shout out to my Uncle Tony's Pizzeria down the street. Right? If you listen to these shout outs, it's like they go past just the regular family members. It's other people. It's like cousin Sally, Uncle George. I heard it's your birthday. No one cares. No one cares.
Whatever happened to the contestants wanting to be entertaining, especially when they would, especially in Survivor, when they would go up and do the parchment and they would talk to the camera. Like, well, that was a great part of the show, and why did they like eliminate that? And likewise on Big Brother, it's like yeah, it's all about shout outs and it's like hi Julie, but it used to be a little bit more like entertaining and
Spicy. I want to see
a
some
little
spice.
spicy.
It's
Yeah.
it's the same problem I have with the Amazing Race, where everyone just is so nice. It's like you can be nice to people, but I'm also competitive. I want to rub salt in your eye. I want to put your head in the sand, and I beat you. You're gone. Right? It's like bye bye, Red. Right?
The Amazing Race
Um,
is a little different because it is kind of like an amazing experience, like no pun intended, I guess. But it is like you're traveling all over the world, you're sleeping in the same hotels as these people, you're seeing them every morning, it's just like it's I don't know, it's a little different. I feel like because it's like also you're only running your own race. The only thing that they try to do those
U-turns and
to
yeah.
spice things up. But I never even really enjoyed that much for me as for Amazing Race. But that's a different conversation. With this Big Brother stuff, it's just stop with the shout outs. It's just got
Yeah.
to a point where why don't you just talk about the game and what's actually going on in the house? Because that's what I care about. That's what 99.9% of the viewers care about. So.
Yeah. Like, hey, Red, I'm gonna turn you blue. You're gone.
Yeah,
I just
a blue America now.
It's a blue America now. Oh my gosh. We need someone who's like a police officer or a boat captain, and then someone's like, Julie, Julie, I'm the captain now. Red, you're gone, or whoever is like Captain George, or someone who has that kind of position. Let's see some. You know what? Instead of doing shout outs, practice your puns. Let's hear a pun, right?
Do,
Let's put some effort into it.
well, do you know what's great about yeah, and I was thinking about this with Bowie Jane, but the Big Brother Australia is that Big Brother is like actually like a character on Big Brother Australia, and he'll be like, "Hello, Bowie Jane," and it's like, "How are you voting tonight?" And it's like, "Oh, that seems like unexpected." And then like he'll talk to them and like actually ask them questions like as a character. Like Big Brother's a character
Yeah.
on that
But
show.
a character that can't suck up to and like, oh Julie, you look great tonight. I
Right.
can barely see you on the screen, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Oh, you're a fashion icon, Julie. Oh, like stop sucking up to Julie, okay? Julie can't help you.
Yeah, and like and they only like they do have a host that comes into the house on Big Brother Australia for the vote out, and their vote
Mhm.
out is a bit different. It's like they all sit like in a big room, and then they leave to go to the diary room, and then they sit in the diary room for like a while. Like it's not like a quick live thing. It's like more like a diary room session that goes on when they go to vote. So it is a bit different, but I do enjoy that more because it gives the contestant a lot more opportunity to be entertaining and
Yeah.
stuff.
Would you prefer Big Brother to be completely taped with no live? And when I say completely taped, I mean in terms of the show, right? If they do the show, but it's like, hey, we recorded the show like they do in Canada, recorded the show earlier in the day. It took, sorry, it didn't take an hour. It took about 3 or 4 hours, right? To do this vote, but we're, cutting it down to an hour. Enjoy. Would you
Yeah,
prefer that?
yeah, I would because like tonight the only thing I really enjoyed was like all the recorded stuff. Like the live stuff is just so whatever. It used to be good because like it was unpredictable. Now it's so predictable. And so if you're gonna like have it like be for this predictable thing, I would prefer like kind of get at some point get rid of Julie and bring in like a Big Brother as a character on the show. I think that would be amazing because I think that's kind of what the show's lacking. I think it
I
would
think
really improve it.
I think Julie Chen should retire, and Big Brother is revealed to be a Chen bot. They make a robot, an AI voice modulator that has like a Julie Chen robotic visage that they use to communicate with the crowd, and it's just this monstrosity of like fashion, right? I would prefer that. No real person, just this figurehead with big hair, right? Says the occasional Bible line at the end, and everyone kind of laughs.
It's
But
called
going to your
Chen GPT.
Chat GPT, yes, a coin and minted. Like you're right, there is a lack of unpredictability with what's happening, and it seems that it's like I guess it's like people are afraid to do anything that is, out of the norm. Like there's this path, this direct way we must play Big Brother, and that's how you get to the end. When for majority of the people, that path does not lead for them to be victorious, but yet they still walk that specific, stupid, dumb path, right? Because that's the same path that people walked before, right? And for whatever reason in their head, they think that, oh, I'm just like this person. It's like, no, no, you're not like Dr. Will. You're not like, Dan. You're not like these masterminds or anything like that. They walk their own path, right? You got to walk your own. And that's why I liked, I keep on forgetting his name, last year, the comp beast of that season, who was the very unlikely comp beast, did a lot of things.
The tall guy.
Yeah, he did a lot of things that were kind of unorthodox. That's great. You know, we were like, this doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I don't begrudge him for doing stuff differently. I don't know what's going on in the house. Even when he got voted out, he's like, everyone sit down. I got something important to say, and he walked straight out. He didn't want to hug anyone, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
more of that. Like we want to see, like,
or,
don't.
or like when Kobe wouldn't have done that.
Kobe wouldn't have done that. I don't know why you're bringing up my my nephew right now.
Well,
You talk about Kobe and Kobe, being a man.
yeah, yeah, I don't think Kobe would approve.
That was great.
Yeah,
Like we're all different people, right? We all different people, different personalities, different reactions, right?
yes,
And to see the parade, oh, I voted you out, so I'm gonna hug you. Like all these people don't want to hug Red, right? When Cameron gets voted out, are they gonna hug him?
probably.
Which is like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
they
I
won't
would
shake
flat out tell
hands.
people, I'm like, I don't want to hug a lot of you people. Like I like you all are fine and everything like that, but we're not that close.
Yeah, I hope Cameron doesn't hug any of them. He's the only one I find actually kind of right now relatable as a character on the show. Because I think everybody kind of knows what it's like to be isolated and alone in a big group of people, and that's what he is now. Whether or not that's justified or unjustified is a totally different conversation. But that's kind of where he is in the house, and now he's won, and it's like I think it's like a really crappy position to be in this game show because he has nobody. He didn't even have Red. He's got
Bowie
Bowie
Jane kind of.
Jane, maybe he could get like America and Corey, but I don't doubtful. You know, because America and Corey need him.
Yeah.
That's how they should be thinking. You
Well,
know,
America specifically, because America, she has all these grand ideas, and Corey's kind of like, hey, you got to slow your roll because you have no power, and America needs power, and uh, she can't win it herself. It seems so far. So
well, and
all
then
these,
with Jared winning that last week or whatever, and basically rubbed her face in the camera in dirty socks. You know what I mean? I think that's all to intimidate and scare her. You know,
I hope she talks to Cameron and says, I was gonna almost be on the block because Jared thought I was throwing it,
yeah.
right? And I couldn't believe that he would think that I would, be up there for 13 hours just to throw a comp.
I really hope that Cameron actually gets info. I hope this week's not boring because nobody wants to talk to the HOH and they're just gonna be like, well, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and that's that. I hope we see some actual gameplay. I don't think that'll happen because this house is a mess. This house changes their mind about what they're gonna eat for breakfast. You know,
You could look, even with the spoiler information, I couldn't even say who was gonna get voted out yesterday because it was still so wishy-washy,
yeah.
right? Like it was seeming like it was gonna be Red, but it was like maybe they could change their mind because someone would have an idea and all of a sudden it spreads like wildfire, and it just very from it's good from a, what, spoilers don't matter because you never know with this group, but at the same time you want, like, you're like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, or what's the thought process to get from point A to point B. uh there's too many yes people. There's too many yes
Well,
people.
yeah, there's not enough even if a Corey or America won, they'd be too worried about what Sari thought about what they were doing, and they would probably go after Bowie Jane or some weak sauce move, you know. So that's why I was tonight the only two people I wanted to win actually were America and Cameron, and I was pleasantly surprised when Cameron won. I wanted America more, but
Hmm.
now America doesn't have to get any blood on her hands, so that's good for her, I guess. But that's kind of how her whole game's been going, you know. She's just
She
not
if she
not.
if she wants to do something, she's gonna have to win some power.
Well, and she could have won pressure cooker, you know, but that she gave it up to Cameron. Uh, that was
But it
probably
wasn't a throne. Like, it wasn't thrown though. She made a deal.
yeah, she made a deal. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like Kaser. Uh, but the thing is, with Cameron, maybe it would have been better for him. I don't think maybe it would have mattered, but to have let America win that pressure cooker, you know.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Might have been better,
Um,
and maybe him and Red wouldn't have been so targeted because then they wouldn't have looked at him as like such a threat. Uh, but now he's definitely the number one threat in the house,
yeah, definitely.
and
Which
he's
is
not
why,
being
if you're
threatened.
mad, you should keep him in the house.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's certain people that should keep him, like like a Corey, like there's certain Izzy even, should be thinking about, you know,
But she can't get past the fact that she dislikes people, and that's the reason why they need to be gone. I don't work well with this person. It's like, okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, prioritize their eviction over other people.
yeah, she's a little like you could see even like in her DR message tonight, you could see Izzy's got a lot of like power itis, and
Hmm.
you know, eh, I want to see like Suri and I want to see Jared and Izzy especially all hit the block. You know, except more Izzy and Suri than even Jared because I think Jared wouldn't even know what to do. But I would love to see Suri on the block or Izzy on the block.
He'd mope around with Blue the entire time.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, Corey looks like uh, he's just putting up with America, and this America segment did not do her any favors. I know our resident America fan, Sam, appreciates the extra time with her, but her like whole, I'm gonna mold him into the man that I want.
Is that America who said that?
It was America was saying that to
I
Corey.
I thought that was Blue.
No,
Yeah.
it just came across as very, very desperate and kind of pathetic. And especially when you see Corey's facial reaction, where he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll do it." Like, you could just assume he breathes hard every single time she starts talking, right? It's just it's embarrassing. It's honestly, it's not to say that America's some ugly person, right?
Oh, she's a
Who needs to like, I need to get him, right? But it just seems so like,
it's desperate. It's got
like, yeah,
it's got a desperation to it that is a little like it seems like unnecessary. She's a pretty young girl, was smart. She doesn't need to be doing that. You know?
yeah. But I guess a lot of times people are gravitated to that comfort space of being like, not even just like necessarily being with someone, but like being by someone or having someone, right? Whether it be a friend or someone who has a significant other, is just used to like that type of comfort, right?
Yeah.
And Corey's fulfilling that for her, uh, kind of begrudgingly.
It is interesting. Like I feel like that segment tonight, like if that was the other way around and it was a man talking about a girl that way, it would not it would not
I'm gonna mold her into the perfect woman.
yeah. She's got to hit the treadmill. She's got to cut her hair.
Yeah.
Like it would not come across well.
Yes, you start hearing the music to weird signs start playing. You know, just it's not a good look. And if I was the parents, like I would wonder how it would feel if I knew the person who is on the show and how they're being portrayed, right? Um, because Jeff, if you were on the show and I start hearing that goofy music playing when you're starting to do something, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a long season for Jeff.
But music. Well, that's what the producers do. They fixate on one like aspect of your personality, and then that's kind of who you become to everybody, which is kind of
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Well, Jared is Cerie's son. Izzy's the nervous wreck,
Yeah.
right? Felicia accuses everyone of everything, right? McCole passively aggressive comments about what's going on, but she has no power, so she's just a commentator, not an actual participant.
Blue's a bit of
Um,
a mean girl.
yeah, yeah. The and what she was wearing tonight, I don't mean to like. I know. It's like she could wear whatever she wants to wear.
Sure.
But at the same time, I was watching the episode with my parents, And the gasp that came out of my mother's lips
Right.
when Blue turned around and you see tongue coming out of the pants, and I'm like, oh,
I wonder what Felicia thinks. You know.
you know what, Felicia. You know what? Out of all of them, I think Felicia, between Suri and Felicia, I think Felicia's the one who's seen it all,
Yeah.
right? So she's like, that's why she's so fun, like fancy free, and why she's gravitate to a lot of the younger people. It doesn't seem like there's like the headhunt. We need to get rid of Felicia. Never really came up that we've seen in the past. I think it's because she can relate a lot better than Summer or Steve or the
Well,
other past first boot older people.
she also has like a huge like advantage of this season with being similar demographic and age to to Suri, and
Yeah,
Suri has a lot of power and influence regardless of the game, but also just in the house as a four-time Survivor player that
yeah.
everyone knows, and so and they're tight. They've been tight really from the beginning.
Do you think that Felicia is like a shield to Suri?
Pretty much, pretty much.
Which,
She
which,
will, Felicia will be a sacrificial lamb for Suri in the final 5, 6, whatever it needs to be. Uh, like that's how I think Suri is using her. Like I don't
well,
think Suri's looking to take her to the end, but
yeah,
definitely take her to like final four. That'd be
yeah.
great for Suri.
It'd be great to anyone if they can get Felicia that far in the game. Like,
Yeah, and like
I
what
would want to get rid of her if I felt that I was more expendable. I would get rid of her first. Sorry.
did you like Felicia's DR message to Red tonight, where it was like, "Red, sorry, we were scared you were gonna team back up with Cameron. Okay, sorry, bye."
Yeah,
Like, it was so great. I was like, she is so sitting so comfortable in the house. She is just like, she's like, it wasn't even like a real like. It was
goodbye message or anything
my
like that. It's like, oh, I'm obligated to do this, so let me just say, yo, you're gone. Sorry, man. Bye. I need to go back to my lunch.
Did Jared
Right.
do a DR at the end?
No, because he. Oh, no, he did.
No, but
No, he
he was
didn't.
the one who should have because he was the reason Red went home. Really.
Yeah.
Because and actually that was the only part where I was like, actually that's pretty impressive by Jared because that was exactly what he should have done. He and even like I was surprised that Suri agreed because Suri was all fixated. It's gonna be Jag, gotta get Jag out because of this and this 10 vote. But then they were like, oh, well, we've lied to Red, about how much Cameron really wanted him out or whatever, which really wasn't true. It was
Yeah.
kind of it was implied, but like that basically, if it's gonna be me or Red, I'd rather be Red. It's kind of what he said,
Yeah.
you know. But
Which is like the natural response from anyone.
exactly,
Oh no, you could vote out me. My buddy Red needs to stay. They're like, no one's saying that.
no one's saying that, and no one expects anyone to say that either.
Yeah.
But the Jared and Suri twisted that information to Red, and then like I don't know, like that was pretty ballsy because that easily could have got back to Cameron after the vote. Like Red should have shut his mouth
Yeah.
and just let the vote go and then talked to Cameron, and then he would have had a much better chance to have basically escaped that week, which is
Yeah.
always the dream when two alliance members get put on the block and neither one goes home, like Felicia's tonight, like whatever. That's like the worst case scenario. That's almost what happened, you
Yeah.
know.
Which is absurd.
It is absurd. But it would have been like that's how kind of a bad of a Big Brother player Red kind of was, as this is his eulogy because he had a free ticket to ride to next week and he said okay rip it, it's like he didn't need to do that, he was
Yeah.
free and he could have talked to Cameron in private and figured out a
Don't need to tell people that you're gonna do that.
yeah, don't need to tell people. Don't
I'm,
need to make it like, oh, we got to have this conversation with both of us in the room and then air out all the grievances. First of all, you don't tell him that. You just do it if you want to do it.
yeah.
You just get it done if that's something you want done. You don't like have to tell the person because then you give Jared the opportunity to operate, which is exactly what happened. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I was just shaking my head that whole scene. I was like, "What are you doing?"
It's like this is you kind of made your own bed, and that's what you get.
Yeah,
You know,
I had no bad feeling about him getting voted out. I was like, "You totally voted yourself out here.
I
You
just
you were free." Jag has escaped 2 votes now that he should have went home.
yeah,
It's kind of amazing that this guy is just slipping through. He shouldn't be. And
shouldn't
then he
be.
might go up on the block again this week, like you were saying.
It's possible, and there's a lot of people like at a certain point, like Jared and Jag and Cameron should go look. I'm tired of being on the block, and Cameron's like, me too. Like we have these people there. There's a whole rooms of people that have not touched the block, yet they're making all of these decisions that involve us. Like they need to get some, put their feet to the fire. Let's start talking. Let's start moving. Like
Yeah,
let's do something.
Cameron should make a deal with Jag and say, "I won't put you up if you don't put me up," because Jag is a high uh, possibility to win an HOH. I would say.
Oh, definitely.
You know, so I would make a deal with him and say, "I'm tired of being the block. You're tired of being the block. I won't put you up. You don't put me up." Okay. And then just with him, and then he can. That's one person that's not coming after Cameron if I'm Cameron, and then you can kind of go from there, because he
Hmm.
needs to start rebuilding some sort of an alliance with somebody, and you might as well just start with one person because that's kind of what he was. That was where he was anyway with Red, you know.
Well, and Jag is going to be a better dance partner because Jag is actually able to talk to people and communicate, and people like Jag, like actually like
Yeah,
Jag.
like Blue really likes Jag, for instance.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And you have Corey in America, right? That's the starting of a group, and as long as you all win and have power, you're fine. Even though you're lower in the numbers,
Yeah.
if you have power, you're fine.
And you have a better chance to win against the Felicias, Cerise, the Jareds. They're not exactly world beaters in the competitions.
Yeah. Jared won by default because Izzy slipped on a banana peel, not because he was better than Izzy.
He
All right.
did.
So
He did win like twice though, like pretty well. But yes, they had it. They had a huge advantage in who was going against who.
yeah,
So they also had that.
yeah.
So it all depends. But I would like to see for sure those that big group a little squirm this week. It'll be delicious.
Okay. So, um, what are your predictions? What are your predictions and what do you hope? Give me two scenarios. Scenario one, what you hope to happen, right? From nominations, veto, and then eviction, and two, what you think's gonna happen.
I think you're probably right that he's gonna put up. He's definitely gonna put up Jared because he just got put up by Jared. So I think either way, Jared's on the block. Whether it's prediction or what I want to happen, I kind of want Jared to be on the block either way. And then the other, I hope you're not right that Jag is the one going up beside him. I would hope that he puts up, um, I would hope he puts up Izzy, to be honest, because that would make the most sense. If he puts up Jared and Izzy, that would be the two best players I think that he could put up. But what he will do, he'll probably end up putting up, yeah, like Jared and who else put him up because he's been put up by other players in the house, right?
Heisem,
And then what's another one?
Riley.
Riley, yeah. So two people that are gone.
So Heisem, Riley, and
Could he put
Jared
up?
have put him up.
Could he? He's already put up Blue. Does he put up Jared and Blue? Like, does that happen?
Hey, you know what? It'll be tit for tat because he put up Cameron and Red, a duo. It's like
Yeah,
I'm gonna put up your duo,
yeah.
right? Fair turn. And then Suri and company would be like, "Oh no,
No
Blues
Blues
on the
out.
block." Would you? Oh no, Jared! I don't know what we're gonna do.
You know what? That's my prediction. That's what's gonna happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's gonna be Jared and Blue, and like Cerie's gonna be like laughing in the DR, going, "No, this is so terrible."
Oh my gosh! And like even Corey's gonna be like, "Oh no, I feel so bad." It's like finally I can get Jared back, his head back in the game.
Yeah,
Right?
the real head. Not the,
Yeah, real head, real head.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
What's,
Um,
what's your prediction?
Okay, what I think's gonna happen is exactly what I said. Jared and Jag on the block. Jag wins veto. Blue gets put up, and Jared is crying to mommy, and Jared reveals his full secret to Blue. Blue leaves, and Blue also starts talking a little bit too loudly on her way out, revealing some information that a lot of the other house guests didn't know, leaving us with a great next week that we're walking into. That would be my prediction and also my wish. I think that would be enough fireworks. Um,
Would that
and
put a target on Sari and like Jared's back? Do you think like from the other players in the house? Like, would they care, or would they just go, "Whoa, that's crazy," or you know what I mean?
I think at the very least, Izzy will have to pivot because then everyone's going to ask, why did you know? Right?
Why did you
And
tell anybody?
did you know? And if you did know, why didn't you tell anyone? That's a pretty big secret and something that really held a good portion of the house, right, hostage because we did not know that this relationship was pre-existing. We're talking to Jared like about Sari because we thought they were a separate entity and they actually weren't, right? So, and you knew that, so you benefited from that decision. So, therefore, you're going to have to pay, right? What is a person like Matt going to feel who felt open enough to reveal a secret like him having the power to Sari, and Sari does not do that in turn, right?
Yeah. Well, is it jury? You think now, or is it one more vote?
I was counting and I'm like, I don't think they're going to have that big of a jury. I assume there's going to be two. I think it's going to be like the second week into Survivor. So not next week. I think Survivor is the week after. So the week after and then 2 weeks that. So that the second week of October, I think jury starts. Right? If I'm predicting it. I don't think there's gonna be a battle back, thankfully, um, in a traditional sense. I think we might see some kind of Big Brother Canada esque double eviction, but only one person actually goes home.
Yeah.
Right? Right. So I that's how I see it.
Yeah.
All right.
They used to do two double evictions. Now it just.
Lost too many people.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. People saying the wrong. They did, that's the other thing today, Jaemeel. They did not address the R word.
I don't think they're going to at all.
Oh,
At this point, especially with this episode, with the amount of time that they kind of fixated on like stretching for time, especially at the end, I don't think they're gonna mention it all.
if Jag was going to go home tonight, do you think they would have mentioned it?
I think it would have been a conversation that that Julie brings up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I do as well.
Because there isn't that much juice from like, oh well, they just changed their mind and they voted you out. And Matt has a special power that saved you. Yeah, I knew that. Saria suggested it. I knew that. Like there's no juice from that kind of
Yeah.
from any revelation outside of the one. Oh my gosh, Saria and Jared are brother, not brother, but mother and son. Like that got one word out of Red, and that was it. I'm like, wow, great interview, Red. Thank you. Very enlightening. Thank you.
Well, to be fair, he was a man wearing no shirt and overalls.
I would not want to like walk onto that stage wearing that at all.
I couldn't believe that's what he was wearing. I was just, I mean, I guess he stayed true to his caricature.
Yeah.
But my God.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's not wearing a shirt. Him and Cameron, they're obsessed with like being able to take their shirts off or like at a moment's notice. Like Cameron's got the half zipped up hoodies with no undershirt. They like no undershirts, the good old boys.
Yeah. It's the nipples that don't want it rubbing against.
Right.
Any before we wrap up, we're keeping it very tight. There's no real reason, for us to prolong this. Anyone in the chat has anything to say, speak now or forever hold your peace until next episode. But in the meantime, while we wait, I'm gonna do some plugging. because it usually always takes so long. So we're part of a federation of podcasts, United Federation of Podcasts. That's us, right? There is a ton of great content for you to listen to if you listen to us. You can go and find more information on ufpodcast.com. Shows, for example, in our little uh, corner of the universe is we do Star Trek. Actually, we do Live Long and Podcast is our Star Trek podcast kind of subsection. It is the mothership of our network, where we do reviews and uh, deep dives into Star Trek episode television reviews. We do deep dives into the culture and the concepts of Star Trek. There's Eamon on Track, Dave Mader's son, Jeff Mader's nephew. He has his album review, Eamon on Track. They review an entire album from start to finish. And then you have the Bloodborne podcast with Alex Hellbound podcast, sorry, with Alex Bloodborne and Michael Chan. It's a horror movie review, audio only, usually on a Wednesday, like Grundy. Then you have X Rated, the X-Men animated review show with David Skelhorn and André Myette, where they review X-Men the animated series episodes. And eventually they will do X-Men 97, the new X-Men animated continuation, whenever Disney decides to release it, maybe next year. Then you have the Graphic Histories podcast, which is audio only podcast. Andre Myette, he talks to various people in the industry, comic books, artistic field, writers, musicians from time to time, actors. Great podcast. You also have Hold Up, a movie review podcast where they take three movies from different time periods, and they usually have a theme, and they compare them to see if they hold up. Last night was a very lengthy episode that we kind of jumped onto, Dave and myself. It was a dimensional multiverse theme with, was it Quest for Love or Quest for Love, Coherence, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Quest for Love, starring Questlove.
That would actually be awesome.
Yeah.
And also there is Trivial Debates, which is our debate show. That is an old one. Why do we still have that old one there? Sorry. There you go. Trivial Debates. It's a debate show where there's a theme, and the contestants, they debate over various questions: movie, television, music, history, wild card, and they fight to the finish to find out who is the winner each week for that theme, or each month for that theme. Most recent episode is The Office. You should definitely check it out. And last but not least, I'm going to keep it alive. KBBL podcast, right? It was Simpsons review show. It's currently on hiatus, but what you should do is on social media, like request, demand it to be returned. I like it. So
Get this going.
Get Devin to do it again. All right. We've done all the reviews. We've done all the plugging. Jeff, anything else to leave us with?
No, just should be a delicious week with Cameron, and I'm looking forward to it.
So. I'm looking forward to it as well. Can't wait. It's going to be great. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're wrapping up. We're keeping under 50 minutes. That's how we do. All right. You all take care. Be well. And some Julie Chen quote, love one another. I wasn't going to say the quote. Okay. So take care, and let's see if I can do this properly. Okay. Take care, everyone.